Today we're going to focus in on learning how to make a gastrique. Now a gastrique is basically a caramel sauce with adding other elements to it. It's going to give a nice, really rich caramelized flavor to a lot of different sauces. It's also a good base for a sauce as well. So some of the components for making a gastrique is pretty simple. We have sugar and we have vinegar. Here I have a champagne vinegar, and we have sugar, and you want to use equal parts. The vinegar, then I have a little bit of water. Actually, here's the vinegar. I have a little bit of water that's going to help start melting down that sugar when we start out. And then I'm going to be making, this is actually, I heated it up just a little bit. This is actually blood orange juice. So we're going to be doing a blood orange gastrique. So let's get started. So first you're going to have a pan. We're going to start off by making like almost a caramel. So what's going to happen is I have on medium heat here. I'm going to take my sugar, and I'm just going to go ahead and add my sugar right into my pan. We want to make sure we're on medium heat. And then we're going to go ahead and add about a tablespoon of water. And this is going to kind of help start melting the sugar down just a little bit. I'm going to turn this down low here at a medium flame, medium to medium low. I'm going to give this a shake. I'm just going to let this sugar melt down. And what we're trying to do is get a little bit of a caramelization. We want a little bit of a caramelization. So just a little bit of patience here. Swirl your sugar in the pan to get some of those extra sugar granules. Get those melted as well. You can always play with your heat, turn it up, turn it down. Don't want to go too high. We're just going to be a little patient here. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, mix this around a little bit here, and let this sit. Turn my heat down just a bit. And we're going to let this just continue to cook until it starts to melt and caramelize. And it may crystallize up a little bit on you, it's okay. So you can take your spoon and kind of push down the crystals on the sides and just kind of let it sit, and it's going to continue to melt. I'm going to push these crystals down a little bit into the heat. I'm going to let that cook. And you can start to see the sugar melting here on that heat. Turn it down just a little bit here. I'm just going to be a little patient. And it takes a little while. It could take anywhere from 4 to 5 minutes for it to really just start to melt down. You can kind of see it here. I turned my heat down. We don't want it to go too high. We want it to go a little bit lower than that. And at this stage, it's starting to melt. We can kind of mix it around, and it's okay. And you're going to see it crystallize a little bit. Just push those crystals down. And let it cook. So now we can see that the sugar is melting down. It's turning almost to a nice golden brown. I just want to take it off the heat a little bit and spin it so it doesn't get too dark. And we got some really nice caramelization. I'm going to pull it off the heat. I'll turn my heat down just a little bit. I'm just going to continue to mix this sugar mixture here. I got this really nice, almost caramel color. Now this is the stage where we want to be really careful, and we're going to add our vinegar. So we want to add our vinegar a little bit at a time. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my fingers here, and I'm going to sprinkle in my vinegar just a little bit while I'm mixing. And I want to continue that process. This way it softens up really quick. If you add it in too fast, there's a good chance that it's going to kind of crystallize on you, and you'll have to cook it a little bit longer time in order for it to get nice and soft. I'm going to keep doing this process. The pan is still nice and hot. Sugar is nice and hot, nice caramel color. I'm adding it, sprinkling it in a little at a time, making sure that it stays nice and soft. You're going to see it bubble rapidly here. It's going to start cooling your mixture down a little bit. So at this stage, I can put it back on a low flame. And I can come in with some more of my vinegar here, kind of reheat it up a little bit. bring it back off and bring in some more of my vinegar here. Put it back in. Keep doing it. So now I'm going to come in and I'm going to add a little more of my vinegar. Keeping it nice and soft. A little bit of patience, keeping it nice and melted, nice beautiful color. I'm almost got all my vinegar in. I've got all the vinegar in at this stage, and it's got this nice, beautiful mixture here. Nice color. I'm going to let this cook for a second. Now I'm going to start adding, now that it's all melted with the vinegar, I'm going to start adding my blood orange. Add a little at a time. I'm going to check my heat. I'm going to turn my heat up to about a medium at this stage. Then I'm going to continue to slowly add my blood orange juice. Mixing it in with the vinegar and the caramel. Excellent. All right. So at this stage, once you have it mixed, now we're going to bring it back up to temperature, and we're going to want to simmer it. We're going to want this to simmer until we get a nice, so it starts to reduce down and thicken up. We're going to get a nice nappe on the back of the spoon. We're going to have that really nice blood orange flavor mixed in with the caramel and the vinegar, which produces your real simple gastrique. Excellent. I'm going to set this off for a second. It's coming to a nice simmer. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. I'm going to let it simmer. I'm going to come back to it every once in a while, and I want to reduce it down to where it thickens up to a nappe consistency. Still a little bit on the thin side right now. We're going to continue to reduce it. Got a nice reduction. It's starting to coat the back of the spoon. You can go a thinner coat, you can go thicker coat, depending on what kind of consistency you want your sauce to be. Here we have kind of a light nappe. And just to kind of show you, to put it on the plate here, you can reduce it down even further. I'm going to leave it a little bit on the lighter side while I prepare a couple other dishes. We're going to be using this blood orange gastrique, but just to kind of show you how it looks like on the plate, we come in and you get a really nice kind of a gastrique sauce that we can use in several different dishes, just to show you kind of the nappe consistency of what you're looking for. That's a little bit on the light side, but you could take it even a little bit deeper than that. And there's your traditional classic gastrique, in which I made a blood orange gastrique.